Hey guys, Liza Hudson from ConversionWise here, and welcome to another free landing page audit session. So as always, before I jump into today's pages, I have my announcements to make. The first one, of course, is if you are new and you are watching us in YouTube and you're new to our channel, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe. And if you are not a member of our Facebook group, then underneath this video, you will find a link. Just click there and ask to join. This is a completely free group. In here, there's just some great conversations going on around conversion design. There's tips, there's tricks. And plus, if you haven't heard about it, we actually have our own academy and you can see some announcements from in there too. And of course, if you are currently joining us from the community and you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you head on over and click subscribe. We are always dropping fresh content in here. You'll find interviews, how to create your pages, obviously lots of these audits as well. It's just a really great, useful, free tool, guys. So please hit the subscribe button. Now, for anyone that hasn't been here before, apologies for all of those that have, what I am about to do is audit 4 pages that I have selected from the community. Now, what happens if you want to see one of your pages here every week or so, I will drop a post and then you can just drop your link and it might be your page that comes up on this session. Now, another quick one just before I dive in. Guys, you sent me so many links. If you don't see yours here today, don't panic. There will be a second video dropping. And the other thing is, of course, that no matter if your page isn't here, if you didn't submit a page, the tips, the things that I'm going to pull out on today will apply to everybody's pages. You can all take something from these sessions, go away, implement them, and you will see an uplift in your conversion rate. So with me, as always, I have my 2 trusty tools. I have got tools.pingdom.com. This is a great little page speed tool. So it's a free one. You can just drop your URL in and let it run the test. Now, as I'm sure you know, page speed is crucial when it comes to conversion. The other one I have here is builtwith.com, and this is just going to show me what you guys are using to create your pages. Now, also, if you see someone's site or store or page and you really like it and you want to know how they're doing it, this is a great tool because it just lets you know what's being used, what it's built on, what apps are going on, you name it, it's in there. So this looks like a HTML page, a custom page. So I'm expecting the page speed to be quite good. Okay, that's actually quite heavy. So for what looks like a lead gen page, this could be rapidly decreased. You can get this sub 1 second. It's going to be images, things like that. Obviously, coding is a slightly different issue, but the most obvious and quickest wins are always going to be your images and making sure they're compressed. So let's go into the pages themselves. Now, again, for anyone that hasn't been here before, here at ConversionWise, we work to lots of conversion design principles, and one of the first ones that we advocate for everybody is the AIDA principle. So what that means, above the fold here, before I scroll, you are going to capture my attention. As we scroll through the page, you should start to pique my interest with your engaging content. You'll then create desire and end on an action. And it looks like this page follows that flow okay, but there's definitely still some areas for tweaks here, which is always super exciting. Now, I think when you dropped this in to the group, you said that this was not a particularly pretty page, but that it was converting really well. Now, that can quite often be the case, if I'm perfectly honest with you. So let's jump into it anyway, guys. And now, as always, on the hero section, I am looking for 5 key elements. That doesn't matter if you're lead gen or e-commerce. These are the 5 things that I need to see. So firstly, it's your imagery, it's your call to action, it's trust, social proof, and your value proposition. So your headline. Now, clearly I've got a wrap, so I've got some very appropriate imagery here. We've got headline, call to action, but I'm not seeing any trust or social proof up here. So those are a couple of things we're going to need to get implemented. Now, the one thing on this, I think the banner is too large. It doesn't need to be that large. And also because it's white, as we go down on white, it kind of loses its impact. So I'd probably decrease the size of this, pull your phone number over slightly, decrease the size of this and pull it up. Pest problems in Worcestershire. You can rely on us. Same day visit where possible. Well, I mean, it's quite cool because clearly you're focusing in on one area. So it's important that you get that in there. You're telling me I can rely on you and potentially a same day visit. I feel like this could be stronger. Obviously you've got the areas, but I feel like you could probably be a bit more emotive here, you know, like pest control. It's a vile subject, so nobody wants pests in their lives. So maybe present this slightly more along the lines of, we're going to get rid of these pests, same day visits, you know, so pull out on the fact that these are horrible things and you want them eradicated, and that this is what you guys are going to do simply. So give us a nice strong value proposition. Your form is actually a nice size. You're giving 2 calls to action here. So you're giving me the option to call you or fill in the form. I would take the phone number out of the form fill, leave the phone number up in the top. So, you know, again, it's a testable point, but wherever possible, try and go for a singular call to action on these types of pages. So if it's about getting a call, you know, go with the phone number. If it's about getting them to fill out the form, just go with that singular one. But either way, if you're going to keep it like this, take this off of here, because it's just a little, not confusing, but almost a little bit. It's like, oh, what do you want me to do, this or this? So take this out, get a free estimate or get us out today, exclamation mark. The form is very, very clear, easy to understand. This is a great call to action. Get those pests gone with the emoji. Love it. You've got that my information is secure, but this is where we need to see some more trust icons. Now, it could be, for example, if I just pull up slightly, it could be that you have some accreditations, some businesses that you've worked with for something like that, and get those icons across the bottom. You could also have something like, I think you might have seen the Norton or McAfee, or, you know, the little padlock that goes here to say that your information is nice and secure. So we need some more trust icons on this hero section. Now, here we have a list of what you are getting rid of, which is fine. It is features. I would rather see some kind of benefits over me contacting you today. What's so great about you versus anyone else is it that this is going to be super easy and quick. You're going to be I don't know, you're going to be discreet. Like, give me some of the benefits of me using you as a service, as well as, you know, then go down into your features. So like I said, we need to get some trust icons here. Then as we go down, you should be starting to pique my interest. I like the fact that you're using authentic imagery. Authentic imagery converts really well. And that's probably partially why this is converting so well. So yes, like you can get slick shots, modeled shots, things like that, but sort of user generated content and authentic imagery, you kind of can't beat it in some respects. So here we go down into some of the kind of what you guys are providing. A little bit more about what you're providing, what you deal with. Okay, right. So I'm just going to go backwards. Sorry, I'm all over the place. The thing is, guys, I look at these as I open them, so I don't go through these before we kind of get on these sessions. I always think it's better that way. These here are absolutely great, like really great trust icons, as are these. These should be relocated. So those should be just across the bottom of your hero section, because that's the trust that we were talking about. Also, those other trust icons, you could have like a little faux banner there with them made really small, just so that they pop as well. What you need is somewhere around here, a process step. So tell the consumer what's going to happen, break it down for them. So it's 1, fill in the form. 2, what happens next? Are you going to get back to me straight away within 24 hours? What does that look like to the consumer? And then 3, the benefit is clearly no more pests, right? So number one is always what the consumer needs to do. So use like a one and an icon and then some text. Number two is what you will do or what will happen next. So consumer, you, and then number three with a little icon is going to be the key benefit to the consumer. So that's going to be that, they haven't got pests, right? So it's healthier. So you just need to include one of those. Then I would probably get a repeat CTA in. The CTA would just jump you back to the form. So you don't need to do the form fill every single time. You're just going to have, get those pests gone, back it up with your star rating. That's the other thing, that was missing from the hero section. There's no social proof here. So what we need is the star rating at the very least. This is already looking ever so busy, so this would need streamlining somewhat, but you could get yourself a nice review above the fold as well. So then we go into process step, then we go into content, then we should be going into your social proof. Now here we've got 2 reviews, which is great to see. What we need are 3, and we need this to look like a review section. So these are kind of small and squeezed in. So give it a headline, see what our pest-free clients are saying, and get yourself a minimum of 3 on the page. Now, ideally, you'll get ones with some little imagery as well. But in the meantime, just like I say, a minimum of 3 and make it into a proper section. Then go in with the repeat CTA. Then what we are missing here is a frequently asked questions section. So you would want that just after your social proof section. Think about the top 5 questions that you always get asked and make sure you address those on this page. What are the barriers to entry here? Think about those and get them out. So it's super important. If someone gets to the bottom of the page, they are looking for something. So what you want to do is make sure you are getting those most obvious questions out of the way, because the one thing you actually don't want them to do is contact you if this isn't the right service for them. So you just want to sort of almost very slightly pre-qualify people before you get them to get in touch. Now, I love the repeat CTA. What I would say is that it's a different CTA. Stick with exactly the same messaging across all of them. So, get those pests gone now or whatever it was, get that on here as well. Back this up with your star rating. And then you guys will have nailed it. So yeah, there's a few tweaks there. I know what you're saying, like it's not the prettiest of pages, but I think if you just add in those extra key elements and get that trust, in the right location, get that social proof in, I think you guys would see quite a nice little uplift there. I always get excited on these sessions because we get such great results from these audits. So the next one, let's have a look. Okay, so Shopify. Yeah, I love Shopify. So we have a Shopify store, and what do we have in speeds? Now, Shopify stores can be quite slow to load sometimes. 3.78. It's not horrendous, but it's not good. So that can come down. Like I say, it's not horrendous, but I think you could get that closer to 2, if I'm perfectly honest with you. Like I say, sometimes Shopify stores can take quite a while to load. There's a lot that goes on. That being said, still think you can probably get that down. So let's have a look now. Whoever dropped this actually dropped the homepage, but I went into the product page just because, like, typically speaking, that's where most of the action is going to happen. But what we have here is a very vibrant brand. Okay. So really vibrant. Love your branding. I think it's absolutely stunning. I would probably left align your logo, pull this up because it's just taking up way too much room. There's no need for the banner to be this large. Free economy shipping on all orders. If you've got any savings or anything like that, or seasonal promotions going on, always use your toolbars for those, but that's cool. So let's look at the page itself. So as you can see, this is just pushing everything down a little. So I think we just need to pull that up. Now, on a product page, again, same things apply. I'm still looking for those 5 key elements, but obviously on product pages, you're going to come across different variants, different needs. You know, it might be that you have sizing, quantity selectors, all of this kind of thing. And that's absolutely fine. They need to be there, but we just need to make sure we're still, ticking off those boxes. What I do like is that you've got a sticky CTA. So when you're on mobile, that's going to be near your thumb, which is great to see. Typically speaking, on the desktop, we'd recommend that the sticky CTA was kind of attached to the banner, and as it comes down, it would remain fixed. But let's have a look. So we've got the imagery, and it's one of these almost like a scroller. Okay, the product imagery is nice. We've got handmade scallop block print rainbow quilt neon leopard. Obviously neon is part of your branding, part of your theme. I think that's really nice. We have the pricing. You could include some scarcity here. So on product pages, there's a few ways you can do this. It doesn't have to be a huge countdown timer. If you want one, you can, but I think we're leaning away from those now. So it would be something like the in stock icon, or just take it up a notch. Have something like limited stock. We've only got 10 of these left, but over here you've got a little image that's saying like 16 people viewing or 20 people viewing this item. So it's just a way of making people hurry up and take that action. Now, I wonder if you have your payment options. So I know that, £140 to some people's no problem, but to others that could be a barrier to entry. So if you've got anything like where you could do the split payments, Klarna, or anything like that, if you are utilizing that, make sure that that's nice and visible here. Obviously, we only got one review at the moment. That's fine. At least you've got a review here. You need to add your payment icons underneath here. So you've got them. I think I saw them here. So this is great. Take these so that they're smaller and get those underneath your call to action. It's super important that we display trust above the fold on our product pages, and very often we see it lacking. Another thing you can utilize is little icons across the bottom of the banner. I wouldn't recommend extending this banner though, so decrease first. You can have like the customer support, the loved by thousands, or secure checkout. So there's lots of little icons you can utilize to help portray trust above the fold on your product page. Also, I think with this brand, to be perfectly honest, like there's nothing to stop you from utilizing an emoji. Now, some brands don't like to do this because they feel it kind of diminishes the look of the brand. That being said, like, test it, just test it. It can increase your click-through rate by up to 40%. I am not exaggerating. So test it. And this is a very vibrant brand, so I don't see why you wouldn't. So do test that, having them on there. Guys, if you've got a more muted brand, a more sort of classic black and white, or your kind of tans, and you don't want to use an emoji, just use like the arrow, the chevron. It's a directional cue for your consumer. So always give consumers directional cues. So definitely have a play around with that. What I would like to see here, to be honest, would be a little review here with a bit of an authentic image and a review just here. Now, as we go down, we go into your content, and we've got this very, very typical product page format where we have all of this kind of empty real estate. Guys, if you are able to utilize the space, then please make use of it. If you're not, I understand. That being said, I love the fact that you are providing us with content, but it is very, very texty. Now, that's good, but you want people to be able to scan, read this. You want people to be to want to continue reading this. So just think about bolding out some of the keywords, like our animal prints are to die for, these little things that you're trying to pull out, like these lush quilts are roomy. You've capitalized it, bold it. So just bold out the keywords that you want people to see, and that way they'll just decide whether they want to continue reading from that point. The other thing is I'd probably break this up and utilize some icons, some imagery, just to make it a little bit more engaging rather than so text heavy. Now, the other thing I would like to see here, if you are able, again, would be a process step. I recommend it across the board, whether it's a service or whether it's a product. On a product page, you would be looking at a very simple step. So it's going to be number 1, order your product. Number 2, we'll deliver it to you in such and specify that time frame. Number 3, you'll benefit from having this awesome product in your life. So again, it's what the consumer will do, how they will get it, and then how they will benefit. Love this, pimped up by me. I think that's very much your branding. Obviously, we have the features, and then we go down into some trust icons. So, I mean, it's great that you've got these. I think we just need them to go higher. Now, this, I'm going to recommend that you move this. I realize it is actually quite far down the page. And we get it. It's brand awareness. You want people to share the products. You want the brand to grow. Have it in your header. Have it in your footer. Don't have it on the product page itself. Because I might not be finished making my decision yet. So I'm just going to go share this because I like it. And then the chances are 20 minutes later, I don't know, I'm looking at cats ice skating or something random and I'm not coming back. So please, anyone that's got these on their product page, go ahead right now and remove those or relocate them, more to the point. We then go down into some, we're happy to help. All of our handmade products are ethically sourced. Complimentary. I mean, this is cute. The only thing with this yellow is that is incredibly difficult to read. Now, I know that you're going for a neon brand, but you might want to go for a different color writing in that case, just because it's really hard for people to read. You then go down into customer reviews, which is fantastic. Change the headline of this, see what our super happy clients are saying. We just have the one. In the meantime, you guys can utilize hard-coded reviews whilst you are generating additional reviews. But I'm very happy to see you've got this. When you do get more reviews, make sure wherever possible you encourage people to submit pictures with their reviews as well, because there's nothing like seeing these products in their actual settings to help with a sale. So we then go into you may also like, and then we end. So same thing, get yourself an FAQ section here. Think about those top ones. It's always going to be about fulfillment on a store. So get those questions in here and then end, give us an end with, a quick headline, a repeat call to action to purchase this product, and back it up with the supporting buffers. So that's those star rating and of course those payment icons. So really nice brand, really nice content. Just need to include some icons, a process step, ramp up some scarcity, bold out those key elements, and get those trust icons nice and evident for the consumer. So, oh my goodness, I am halfway through already. Now, guys, of course, if you want to see one of your pages on these sessions, like I said, all you need to do is be a member of our group. It is completely free to join. So just head on over, ask to join, and we will let you in. And then you can just drop a link into the chat and hopefully you'll see yours there. And of course, if you aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, do head on over and make sure that you click subscribe. So what have we got here? Another Shopify. And let's have a look at the speed. 2.53. So again, there's room for improvement. Again, I dropped a video on this the other day, but one of the quickest things you can do to increase your speed is to take every one of your images. Now, yes, it might be an exercise in patience for some people, but take every one of your pictures, download them, go to something like Compress, I think it's called compresspng.com. Go on in there, upload them to there and re-download them. It will minify them. Once you've uploaded them, it's going to have a positive impact on your speed. So here we have a home page for sort of sportswear, healthwear. Let's have a look. Your spiritual co-op. Welcome to the family. Okay, so homepage. purpose of a homepage is always to, first and foremost, represent your brand. It's also to obviously display some of your product range. And ultimately, it's about funneling people further into your store to go ahead and make a purchase. So they are always, by their very nature, a little less defined in terms of some of the content that you can have. That being said, again, the principles still remain in place. So let's have a look here. Now, obviously, we've got free standard shipping over $100 spend, expedited over 200. I like that. You're trying to uplift your average order value. This shop now button is far too weak. It doesn't stand out at all. I would probably either move this across and make it far more vibrant, or get rid of this and have this further down, and utilize another emoji here so that your eyes are really being drawn to what's in the middle. Because like I said, you're trying to uplift that AOV. So again, with the logo straight in the center, let's just push it over to the side, pull your content up slightly. This to me is not ideal. You've got a headline, which is, please don't think me rude, it is a strap line, your spiritual co-op, welcome to the family. It's not really telling me much. And what I'm seeing is bottle holders. And then as I go further, I see that you do clothing as well. So I think this hero section needs rethinking. Go in with a value proposition, go in with the shop now, get some social proof on here. So I'm not suggesting that you have, excuse me, I'm not suggesting that you have a review above the fold on your homepage. You can if you want to. But what I am suggesting is that at the very least, you get the star rating for your brand up here. I don't think this is a great move in terms of just leading with this one product. And also, like I'm sure all of you can see, I can't even read this. This is almost impossible to read. The call to actions are almost invisible. The text doesn't look right. The pricing, I mean, I literally can't see this pricing. I think it's 40 something. But that's what I mean. I mean, the fact that I'm even thinking, I think is clearly not the best reflection. So, by all means, like, lead in on your next section with your top sellers, like, absolutely. But on this needs to be your value proposition. It needs to be a very clear call to action. So what's expected of me next? I'm going to shop, and you're going to direct me to where you want me to go. Again, trust icons. You can have what looks like a bit of a faux banner here and get those nice little support icons going in across the top. But let's go down and see what happens as we go. So invest in your relationship with yourself. Many of us are traveling journey. Excuse me one sec. Some of us have already made it. Okay, so, you've got a nice little bit of intro into you guys, your kind of philosophy, and that's nice. The call to action, again, is far too weak. It needs to, guys, when it comes to calls to action, they really need to pop from the page. Now, whilst this is a very vibrant call to action, you can see how much it stands out from the page. Even the white one stands out from the page because we've utilized a very strong color. So I would suggest that you choose a contrasting color to your main color palette, and make sure that your calls to action all absolutely stand out from the crowd. Also, with calls to action, we always back them up with supporting buffers. So this is going to be your star rating or payment icons. Now, as we go down, you are starting to lead me into more products, and the same issues arise. So if you're sticking with this format, which is, absolutely, we have products on a homepage, that makes complete sense. You're going to need to address this issue first and foremost. So the fact that we can't read any of this or see these calls to action is going to be impacting your conversion rate. The pricing is too small. We need to see star ratings associated with each of these products as well. And of course, if you have any savings, make sure you display those as well. So maybe present your products or your collections, give us a shop button to push us into that collection. Or if you're going with the individuals, you just need to ramp this up, because this, as it stands, is really, it just it's not going to work, guys. Sorry to be so harsh. Love the fact that you have some social proof here. Let me just see the flow of the page. So we go into more products, a bit about you guys, more products. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the AIDA principle. First and foremost, above the fold, this needs to change. Let's have a value proposition, a strong headline. So obviously this is the spiritual co-op, you know, the fact that this is accessories, it's something that tells me that what's going on in this store. Nice call to action, some social proof and some trust. Bang into your interest. Okay, give me a bit about the brand by all means, and then strengthen up this call to action. Then you start to go into your different types of products and collections. Fine, let's just sort these out. I don't mind having reviews dotted about the place. Like obviously the more social proof, the better, but always give it a nice headline, you know, and make sure there's a nice repeat call to action to drive people in. Now, obviously this is not quite finished. This is just the Kimberly. I think that's the lady that dropped it. Is that right? Once you've got these, obviously you're going to be able to update them so that you've got other people here as well. On this particular panel that I'm looking at, because you've got a star rating here, this looks great. Obviously, where you haven't got a star rating, you know, they look kind of out of line. It's a tricky one because things looking slick is really important, but I do understand if you haven't got reviews for these yet, it is difficult. Maybe have the clear stars. So, you know, you can have the clear stars that say that you don't have the reviews for these yet, but you have them here. They're clear. It's going to make things look tidy. Your pricing definitely needs to be enlarged. This is the suite section. And this is the kind of thing we kind of expect to see on a homepage. So that's a suite section. The padding between these two sections isn't right. You know, it's too close. It looks too busy. So give this a little room to breathe if we're going into yet another selection. And this is going to be your review section, which is great. Now, with reviews, there are 5 key elements on a review. I know it's crazy, right? So element number 1 is an authentic image to go along with it. Element number 2 is the headline that you have here. Element number 3 is the star rating that these people gave. 4 is the writing itself. And then 5 is the name, obviously, of the person. This is clearly a company. Now, that's interesting. Canada, Australia. Okay, I was just going to say, if you've got any companies or any featured in or anything like that, then I would recommend that they go just across the bottom of your hero section there. But if you don't, then that's absolutely fine. Give this section a nice headline, get a repeat CTA in here. Then we need to just, again, add in that FAQ section at the end here, and then end on a call to action, which is pushing me into your store and making me go a little bit further in that decision-making process. So, you know, there's some nice stuff here. It's just more about the fact that I think first and foremost, you need to sort out the text. The calls to action need to be defined, and we need to change this hero section. Now, guys, apologies if these seem harsh. They're really not. The whole point is that we just give you some very actionable feedback that we know when you implement, you'll start to see those positive results from. So it's always super exciting. So what was that? It looked like another store. Okay. Yep, so another Shopify store. It's all Shopify today. And let's have a look at the speed on yours. So similar to the last store, again, like take the exercise in images, and also, you know, you can go online. You can find some really good devs who just do page speed optimization. It's absolutely worth it. So let's have a look. What have we got? This is a homepage? This is a homepage. Okay. So I'm just going to have a look so I don't get caught out as we go through. Featured products, become a reseller. Okay, cool. So very similar points to the others as before. Now, can I get rid of this? I don't think I can. I'm not sure. Like this, like, I get it. You know, you want to give me your number, you want to give me a contact. Like, it can be a sign of trust. But this doesn't fit in with anything else that you have here. This looks kind of like an afterthought. So I would tidy this up and utilize this toolbar for, for this kind of thing. So free shipping, you know, again, you are trying to push up your AOV, which is a great thing. Like if you're a store owner and you're not trying to do upsells, cross sells, you know, shipping bumps, then you're just missing out on revenue. So good to see that you've got that. This just looks a little scruffy. I'd probably put this at the top and go from there. We have an incredibly large menu here. I wonder if there's any way you can actually condense that. It's good that you've got it, and the fact that you've got a big search bar works. When you have lots and lots of products, the search bar becomes really quite an integral part of your site. It should auto-fill, auto-suggest, and all of that good stuff that goes along with it. So let's have a look. This is, for want of better words, this is actually the hero section. And again, we've gone straight in with products. This is absolutely fine. But we do need to see those 5 elements that I have been repeatedly telling you guys about. So the 5 elements are headline, call to action, social proof, trust proof, and imagery. Imagery, you're relying on products. So, and we have a large amount of text here for a hero section. This is almost like a collections page. This is very similar to a collections page. So what we want to do is just unpacked at for a kid, get the latest trending baby kids products. I would give all this some room to breathe, utilize some imagery, give us that headline. You know, your call to action is essentially your products. And, you know, if that's what you're going to go with, that's what you're going to go with. I'd probably personally prefer to see the more a traditional, I guess is the right word, shop now kind of button that's going to direct me down to somewhere. There's no social proof here. We need to see a star rating up here. You had further down here, these. Amazing. You need to relocate these. These need to go at the bottom of your hero section. Hence why it's a good idea to keep this a little bit more, I don't want to say normal because that sounds weird, but you know, you need those 5 elements, and we're not quite getting them in because we've literally gone straight into product. So get your trust icons here, give us that content if you want to, get the headline, social proof, and then, you know, you're hitting those kind of things on the head. So obviously we go into products. I'm assuming these are some of your best sellers. You know, we've got a call to action down here, which makes sense, but I would like to have seen a call to action on your hero section for sure. With any products, always make sure that you are displaying any star ratings associated with them. Social proof is absolutely key. With the call to action, this white text is quite difficult to read whilst it's on the blue. So probably bold that out, make it a little larger. Back this up with your payment icons because we're asking for money here. So back this up with payment icons and, of course, your star rating. We then go into some of your safety products. Lovely to see that you've got the star ratings. Obviously, this is a really sweet, authentic looking image as well. It looks a little untidy. I'm being hypercritical, I realize that. But when things look a little untidy, it can be distracting. So do make sure that everything is super in line here. We then go into the family, which is great. Really nice to see this. Again, this is very texty, so separate your headline from your content. You know, bold out any of the keywords that is you're trying to draw my attention to. This is obviously a bit about yourself, the co-founder, which is lovely. But again, you know, just give this room to breathe. Like, it's butted up way too close to the top section. We then go down into reviews, which is fantastic. But again, these are, they don't stand out as reviews because we're missing those key elements. So we're missing the star rating and we're missing any imagery to go with it as well. So here we have a whole host of awards, which is absolutely amazing. I wonder if you have the icons associated with some of these. So rather than this massive list, which a lot of people are going to find quite overwhelming and are unlikely to read all of this, you know, even if you just bold out a couple of these, I would recommend that you get the little kind of accreditation symbols that came with these and maybe have a section like that. So it's more visual, much more visual for the consumer. This needs to be turned into a proper review section. So it needs to have space either side. It needs to have a headline, and then it needs a repeat CTA after it. You know, telling me to kind of shop now, This call to action here, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, again, you're funneling me off, which is a good thing, but it's like a little afterthought. It's absolutely tiny. The color is just, you know, it doesn't look right to the eye. So, you know, centralize your call to action, back it up with supporting buffers, and I would rethink this section slightly. Use more visual elements for sure. Absolutely amazing. Just needs to be higher. Into more products. Again, just centrally align these calls to action. We then go into becoming a reseller. So obviously we've got a form fill here, which is fine. Blogs makes absolute sense. Payment icons, again, like, you know, it's brilliant that you've got these, but what we needed was these small underneath some of your calls to action. You know, this is fantastic. Like, these are the exactly the payment icons we're talking about. It's just a case of, like, you guys just need to reorder some things, I think. Now, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. This should have been your second section. So we go hero section, then into, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, then into your products. The fact that this is buried at the bottom is definitely the wrong way around. It's that process step that we talked about across all of them. So always think attention, 5 elements, interest, break it down. What is it? It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. That's next. Then interest, content, think content, then social proof. Then we want an FAQ. And then we want to end with a headline and a call to action. So again, these calls to action are just a little lost in places. So guys, I have been talking to you for absolutely ages. I hope you have found some useful pointers in here. I'm really excited to hear how you get on with these sessions. And of course, don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure that you click to become a member of our community. Have a great day, guys, and I will see you on the next one.